Call to order.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission for Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. The time is 7 p.m.
For Pledge of Allegiance, please stand up. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
At this time, I will proceed with the roll call for the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission. Commissioner Brian Ferrer,
Present.
Commissioner Francis Ann Robles,
Here.
Commissioner Eric Westfall,
Here.
Vice Chair Celia Spitzer, Chair Janesh Chachki.
Here.
All members are present.
Thank you.
We'll now proceed with item 4, presentations. This evening, we have the honor of recognizing our outgoing chair, Janesh Chachki, for his service and leadership on the Property Preservation Commission. So Janesh, on behalf of the entire commission and the city of Cerritos, we want to thank you for your dedication, professionalism, and commitment to maintaining the high standards of our community. Your leadership has been greatly appreciated, and your contributions have made a lasting impact. At this time, we would like to present you with this plaque in recognition of your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll come right over for
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to take the picture with my colleagues also,
we'd have you guys
my
all come up.
commissioners, my crime partners.
Yes.
All right, let me have you guys shimmy over to the left just a little bit. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, JC.
Thank you.
Thank you again for your service to the community.
Thank you.
We will now proceed to item 5.
I'd like to say something
ahead.
briefly, just to thank JC for the past year and other time, because of the long time and working with you has really been a whole lot of fun. So anyway, enjoy relaxing more through the meeting.
Absolutely. Now that tension is gone, but I love this, my colleagues. We enjoy working with you. We've been with other one and we are with them too, and we enjoy working with them. And it's Cerritos rocks.
JC, just want to say thank you for welcoming us newcomers to the commission. It's hard being first year commissioner in the beloved city of Cerritos that we love. So just thank you for welcoming Celia and JC for welcoming us newcomers to the commission. And wonderful job this year.
Absolutely.
Thank you all. We will now proceed to item 5, the annual reorganization of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission. At this time, I will declare the office of chair of the Property Preservation Commission vacant. Nominations are now open for the office of chair. Are there any nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Vice Chair Spitzer. She's been a wonderful chair in the absence of our JC chair. So I'd like to, and she's been a leader in our community for many, many years. I'm proud to nominate her for chair of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission.
I second.
Are there any further nominations at this time? Seeing there are no further nominations, nominations are closed. At this time, may I have a motion to appoint a chair?
Yes.
I have a motion from Commissioner Chachki and motion from correct. Sorry, moved by Commissioner Ferrer and seconded by Commissioner Chachki. We will now vote by roll call. Commissioner Brian Ferrer,
Yes. Or yes.
Commissioner Francis Ann Robles,
Yes.
Commissioner Eric Westfall,
Yes.
Commissioner Celia Spitzer,
Yes.
Commissioner Janesh Chachki.
Yes.
The motion passes. Commissioner Celia Spitzer is appointed to Chair of the Property Preservation Commission. It is my pleasure to announce the new chair, Chair Spitzer. Congratulations.
Do our little musical chairs. There'll be one more musical chairs here. I haven't yeah, I have nobody yet. Okay, let's see. Just rearrange a few things here.
Yep. Take your time.
Okay, at this time, I would like to ask if there are any nominations for vice chair. I can just go, well, you can raise your hand, or I can go from left to right. Do we have any nominations for vice chair? Any of you can nominate. Somebody,
This is the only chance. All right.
I nominate Commissioner Brian Ferrer for Vice Chair.
are there, and we don't need a second, are there any other nominations for vice chair? Seeing none, I declare the nominations closed, and we have the single nominee, and we need a roll call vote.
All righty, we will vote by roll call. Commissioner Brian Ferrer,
Yes.
Commissioner Francis Ann Robles,
Yes.
Commissioner Eric Westfall, Chair Spitzer,
Yes.
Commissioner Janesh Chachki.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Unanimous. Congratulations. So now you and JC can change seats.
Commissioner
you
Ferrer is
gonna move
appointed
or
to the
I'm gonna
Vice
move?
Chair of the Property Preservation Commission. It is my pleasure to announce the new Vice Chair Brian Ferrer. Congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations.
We're going to take a very brief break because they need to move the placards.
Thank you. We'll take a brief intermission.
Okay. Ready? Okay. Oh, okay.
We'll now be on item 6.
Right. Um, they're different.
Public hearing.
Okay, yeah. At this time, it's public comments and suggestions time. This section is reserved for public comment on consent calendar and items not listed on the agenda, but that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Verbal comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and the total time allotted not to exceed 45 minutes. If you have a comment on something that is not an agenda item, you're invited to step up to the speaker's position and give us your name, and you'll have 3 minutes. Is there anybody wishing to speak? No, seeing none. I will close the public comments and suggestions. Now we move to consent calendar, and the only item on the consent calendar is the approval of the minutes of our meeting of March 31st. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? I guess, is there a second? Sorry. Second. Okay. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, we're ready for the vote.
I am now activating the online voting system. Voting is live. The motion carries.
Now we move to our public hearings, of which there are 5 scheduled for this evening. Item 8A, review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission finding that conditions constituting a property nuisance as defined in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code existed in the 19,400 block of Ellen Way, Cerritos, including a trailer stored on the driveway. Mr. Chacon, we have a report.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This case will be presented by Kim Ardema, Senior Code Enforcement Officer.
Chair and members of the Commission, on January 21st of 2026, I inspected the subject property observing a trailer in the driveway, and a notification was left at the property. On January 28th, an inspection revealed no compliance with the additional observation of trash cans stored on the driveway, and a second notification was mailed to both the property owner and the tenant. On February 3rd, an inspection revealed no compliance, and the following day, a third notification was mailed. And I received a voicemail from the tenant saying that he uses the trailer often. I called the tenant back and left a voicemail explaining that the trailer cannot be stored on the driveway while not in use, and suggested possibly storing it in the garage. On February 9th, an inspection revealed the trailer moved to the street and attached to a vehicle, and compliance on relocating the trash cans. The same day, the property owner called and left a phone message, and I called him back and left a voicemail. The following day, the property owner called staff again and asked for clarification on the violation. Staff advised that the trailer was seen on the street the day before and that the property would not be posted for public hearing at that time. On February 11th, an inspection of the property revealed the trailer back on the driveway, and on February 17th, an inspection revealed no compliance and a fourth notification was mailed. On February 26th, an inspection revealed the trailer was gone. On March 4th, an inspection of the property revealed the trailer back on the driveway with a cover on it, and a fifth notification was mailed. The same day, the property owner called me, and I again explained that the trailer cannot be stored in public view, and he explained that the tenant would not put the trailer in the garage because there was items being stored in there. From March 11th through April 6th, 3 additional notifications were mailed due to noncompliance. On April 6th, the property owner contacted me saying that he had been trying to contact the tenant regarding the violation, but the tenant was no longer returning his calls or emails. Staff explained that the property would be posted for public hearing the next week, and that the tenant would be held responsible for the violation, not the property owner. The property was posted for public hearing on April 14th, and an inspection today revealed no compliance. Staff is recommending a resolution be adopted on this property, and I believe there is someone here to speak. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do any of the commissioners have any questions at this time? Okay. Then I will open the public hearing, and if anybody's here to speak to this item, please step forward and tell us your name.
Good evening, commissioners and city staff. My name is Rudy. I am the tenant at the property in question. Thank you for your time today. I'd like to respectfully request, or as I should say, I'd like to respectfully ask that the commission consider the full context of the situation. The trailer in question is not being stored, is actively used, properly maintained, and kept covered. It serves an ongoing, legitimate purpose, and it's not abandoned or neglected. It's not a neglected vehicle. My property is clean, maintained, and orderly. This is not a case where a vehicle is sitting on blocks or where the home or yard is in despair. I lived in this city for over 8 years without any prior issues of this type. I strive to be a respectful neighbor, I keep to myself, and I contribute positively to the community. Given those circumstances, I do not believe this situation rises to a level of public nuisance. I respectfully ask the commission to reconsider this matter and allow me to continue maintaining my property and utilizing my vehicle in a way that supports my work and my family while preserving the peace and privacy that we value. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Normally I don't do this, but Rudy, you want to go back up there? Do any of the commissioners have a question or want a clarification or anything from the occupant of the property? Thought I would give you a chance. No, okay, all right.
Thank you.
You may sit down.
you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, any comments from the commissioners? Chasey?
I would like to make a comment. If the vehicle is operable and day to day he is using, what are other chances to park there?
The only thing that can be stored on the driveway is an operable vehicle. In this case, this is something that's not operable and is just being stored on the driveway.
According to him, it says it's operable.
It's a
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah, but
it's
it
a
is
trailer.
operable means he is using it, right?
When it's not in use, it's being stored on the driveway over different periods of time. That's what's been documented by the inspectors, which is why we were asking for the reso.
In the report, there's multiple pictures
Okay.
showing it in the same spot on the driveway.
Okay.
Maybe can you tell us the code that there's a violation of one more time? Is it the keeping the property with trailers, camper shells, boats, inoperable vehicles, and other equipment kept or stored in reasonable periods?
Yes, yes.
Not less. So 72-hour
That's a
period he's allowed.
The 72 hours is
Right.
for loading and unloading purposes,
Right.
but not to be stored. Yes.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday he has to drive it or use it, and then every 3 days has to.
Right. It's yeah, the 72 hours is meant for unloading and loading, like coming back from a trip or something like that. But it's not something that can be kept out in front of the garage on an everyday basis.
Okay, even operable, correct?
Well, it's a trailer, so it's
Yeah,
not
so
an
right,
operable
correct.
vehicle. Yeah.
Do you have anything, comments you would like to make, or then Eric?
So I guess my question is to staff. Where could he store it? Like the garage or the back, right? That would be, or like the side,
The garage are out of public view.
out of
Um,
public view.
The intention of the code is that the trailers or inoperable vehicles aren't stored in the driveway or public areas.
Mr. Rudy, is that something that you think you would be able to do? I went in there and it was covered, but the trailer doesn't look very large. Would you be able to store it somewhere in your garage? Would you be able to make space in your garage to store it in there? Is that something?
Unfortunately, sorry, it's unfortunately I wouldn't be able to. It is a small trailer that I utilize, but I wouldn't be able to store it in the garage, just the way I have the garage set up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you can tell that staff, as well as the gentleman, we're having a hard time with this here. We haven't even gotten to a motion yet.
It would be the same as if it was an inoperable vehicle with flat
Correct,
tires.
right.
It's
If-
treated the same.
Something sitting there with a flat tire.
Right.
Okay. And it's not a vehicle, it's a trailer. So on its own, it can't be moved. So I think that, going along to the code, that's the way it is. Now, codes can be changed, not easily. But then you have potentially a lot of people doing that. So just a comment, but it's because it is a violation of the code. It is considered an inoperable vehicle. In fact, my opinion, I don't have a dictionary. What is the definition of vehicle? Okay. me, vehicle is something that can be moved, or it can move on its own. It doesn't have to be attached to something to be moved. I mean, staff can correct me. I'm happily, but
Yeah,
is
and
that
the code specifically says trailers.
right? Because I know there's I know there's things mentioned in the code about trailers.
Yes, and there's a lot of people in the city that would like to also keep their
Park 'em
trailers
in
on
their
their driveway,
driveway.
but don't because it's against the code.
Right. Other than that, 72 hours for loading it, and that's understandable. People have things like that all the time. Okay, so is there anything else from the commission at this time? Okay, can we have then the recommendation from staff?
Thank you. Staff recommends waiving the full reading of and adopting a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission, finding that the property located at the 19400 block of Allen Way does constitute a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 10-day abatement period thereon.
Do I have a motion to adopt the resolution? I will make the motion to adopt the resolution. At this point, I've made a motion. Is there a second? And then if there is, we can have further discussion.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Chair Spitzer, seconded by Vice Chair Ferrer. The
Is there
motion
further, now that we actually have the motion, is there further discussion? Or is there discussion to this specific motion now?
Actually, we don't know. According to the code, this is a violation. So
Correct.
we don't know. And if I were him instead of him, I'm in the same situation. Means where I'm gonna store. My garage is full. We have to have an excuse somewhere. And it's not dead, it's movable, right? You move once a week or once a month, something like that.
And I did advise when I spoke with the property owner that if he needed time to clean out the garage to make room, since it does appear it would fit, that if he just let me know, we'd be happy to give him time to do so.
And in the, the story or litany, I guess, that the property owner has been trying to contact
Yes.
the renter,
Yes.
and the renter is not responsive to the
That's
property owner.
Last I heard, yes.
Okay, and as a result, normally it is a property owner who is liable if
Right.
there's a violation.
Right.
But because of whatever you've been able to determine in speaking with the property owner,
Mhm.
that it's not the property owner that actually would be held liable in this case.
Right. In this case, the tenant would be held responsible.
Very unusual. Am I true in that?
Yes.
Sort of
and-
unusual.
Sort of unusual, yes. If tenants leave out things like trash cans, they have inoperable vehicles on the driveway, things like that, the tenants are responsible for that the majority of the time because
Okay.
it's not something the property owner can control.
That's true. The property owner cannot control that, and they can try to communicate, the best they can, but city can't control the communication. Right. Okay. Any? you wanna
Mr.
say
Rudy, I
something else?
appreciate you coming out
Yeah.
and explaining to us. I do have to second the motion just because it's a violation. Perhaps maybe we can talk to the owner, the trailer owner, to give options about what they can do to help
He-
facilitate moves.
He is the
yeah,
trailer owner.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's only called once and left a voicemail. And I called back and left a voicemail. But if he needs extra time to clean out the garage, we're more than happy to work with him on
Yeah.
that. At any point. But yeah, I have not had any communication besides that voicemail
Okay.
from him.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else? Comments, whatever? Okay. I guess we're ready to vote. So the motion is to adopt the resolution for what would, I forget, the number of days 10 days to take care of this.
Yes, the motion was moved by Chair Spitzer, seconded by Vice Chair Ferrer. Motion has properly been made. I am now activating the online voting system. Voting is live. We have 3 yeas, 1 abstain,
Wonderful.
and 1 nay. The motion carries.
Okay. To item 8B. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission finding that conditions constituting a property nuisance as defined in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code exist at the 11,900 block of Gonsalves Street, including a lack of adequate ground cover and parking on an unapproved area. Mr. Chacon.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This case will be presented by Kim Ardema, Senior Code Enforcement Officer.
Chair and members of the commission, on November 17th of 2026, I inspected the subject property, observing a vehicle parked on the planter along the west side of the driveway, a lack of adequate ground cover in the planter along the west side of the driveway, and dying grass in the small parkway, and a notification was mailed. On December 1st, an inspection of the property revealed no compliance on relocating the vehicle parked on the planter, and a few days later, the vehicle was cited by a community safety officer. On December 10th, the property owner called me saying that he was planning to install pavers in the planter along the west side of the driveway, and I explained that a driveway extension requires approval from the Community Development Department and that a 3-foot setback of live vegetation is required in that area. He expressed concern about the water rates, and I suggested drought-tolerant plants for the setback area. He then reported issues with his parkway tree, and I offered to transfer him to the tree department, but he ended the call. On December 15th, an inspection of the property revealed no compliance, with the additional observation of an inoperable vehicle with a flat tire on the driveway, car covers put on the inoperable vehicle on the driveway, and the vehicle parked on the planter along the west side of the driveway, an area of the front wood trim in need of repair and paint, and trash cans stored in public view. On December 22nd, a second notification was mailed. On January 26th, an inspection revealed compliance only on relocating the trash cans, removing the dead grass in the small parkway, and removing the inoperable vehicle with the flat tire on the driveway, and a third notification was mailed. On February 17th, an inspection revealed compliance on all of the violations except for planting ground cover in the planter along the west side of the driveway, and a fourth notification was mailed the following day. An inspection on April 6th revealed no compliance, and 2 days later, a vehicle was seen again parked on the planter along the west side of the driveway, and there had been no further contact from the property owner. The property was posted for public hearing on April 14th, and the same day I received a call from the property owner who stated that other properties have the driveway cemented to the property line. I explained that those properties have usually had that for quite some time and will have to bring the driveway up to code in the future when there are other issues at the property or when they go to pull a permit for work. He again stated that he wanted to install pavers, and I again informed him that he needed approval from the planning department for a driveway extension. On April 24th, I received another call from the property owner who again pointed out that other properties in the area with violations and had me transfer him to planning to find out why they don't approve pavers in the area along the west side of the driveway. An inspection of the property today revealed no compliance. Staff is recommending a resolution be adopted on this property, and I do believe someone is here to speak. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners have any questions at this time? Okay. I guess I have one. The item that we're still considering is the planter area. Is it also the vehicle?
The vehicle was seen also parked on the planter area again from time to time. That's why we have that extra picture in there. So we are trying to get a resolution for both that area and parking on that area.
Okay. Thank you. At this time, if there is anyone here to speak to this item, please step forward and state your name.
How you doing? My name is Michael Ledesma, and I don't permanently reside at the residence, but it's actually part of my trust, part of my family's trust. I am residing there right now as I travel for work. I actually build and work with departments all over the U.S., building departments and inspectors from East Coast, actually from probably the last 24 states I've been in. And I haven't addressed the issue with the pavers, and I did ask because I'm working right now in the city of Northridge, and I'm residing there at the property. I normally have someone that resides there and takes care of the property on a full-time basis, and I do have a car there because I do come back home, come here to visit quite often when I'm not traveling. And when the question was brought about the pavers, I was asked to, because I walk the neighborhood. That's what I did. I've been walking the neighborhood. And that came about once I did receive the rate increase for the water. I was kind of appalled by the actual rate, and I was like, well, I'm going to figure out what to do to actually mitigate this. And what really sparked this thing was when I started to go through and actually clean up the property, because I haven't been around for about 4.5 years because I've been on the road, traveling on the East Coast, working. And so when I started working on the property, I had a neighbor approach me and ask me to, when I was actually removing the dead grass on the side, which wasn't a violation then because it was dead, and I couldn't figure out. It had been dead and it had been overgrown and dead for almost a year and a half. Once I started working on the property, a neighbor approached me and asked me to do a bunch of work on their house, and I basically told them I don't do that kind of work. Mind you, 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, I got a bunch of violations. And this property has been the same. I can pull up Google Maps, and I can show you that the property has been in the same shape well before that. So that car's been there. Everything's been there. And I don't know what sparked this. I've had a dead tree in front, like I told her, for 3 years in the property, in the driveway, in the actual parkway, and all of a sudden it became an issue, and that's why I'm trying to figure out. All of a sudden there was trash cans that have been on the side of my yard for almost 10 years, and then it became an issue. I did repaint I did resolve other issues, and I'm trying to work with the city, and trying to resolve these things. And all I'm really doing is I'm looking at my neighborhood, and in a 1 block radius, I counted 22 houses that have complete driveway to all the way to the easement. And I'm sitting here just going, I'm just trying to match the neighborhood. That's all I'm doing. And when I was told I can't put pavers in, I said, well, why not? I've done this for my whole life. I've actually installed pavers in many, many cities. Oftentimes it's deemed as, they say it's because it's non-permanent. That's one of the reasons why we can install pavers in those in those environments. And I was told I could not do this. Now I've actually gone to the city. I've actually applied for a permit to the point where I'm just like, I'm running out of time, like going, okay, what do I have to do? Now it's becoming a nuisance when I'm actually trying to improve the property. I'm actually looking to match my neighborhood, what's actually existing in my neighborhood.
Okay, your time is up.
No, I said.
Don't go away. Pavers are permitted in driveways in the city of Cerritos as long as they meet the conditions and the type of material. Yes, when homes were first built in the city of Cerritos, the driveway could be extended all the way to the property line.
Yes.
But many years ago, that was changed.
Okay.
And you have to have, at least from the property line towards the property, 3 feet of some sort of approved landscaping.
Yeah, your easement, yes.
Okay. And then, so the other, with appropriate permit, you could extend, again, it would probably be 2 feet, because usually it's 5 feet, sometimes it's more. So pavers are approvable, okay? But they have to meet the conditions of approval for the extension of the driveway.
Yeah, I'm completely aware of what the
Okay.
conditions are. Like I said, I've done this for a living. I've actually installed many of them for other customers and clients, not myself. I'm the guy that actually, fixes everybody else's house, and mine's usually the last one to get done.
Correct, but different cities have different rules and regulations and conditions.
Completely
So
understand
this
that.
is Cerritos.
Yes.
And so a lot of, as was mentioned in the report, when perhaps something like a violation, or if you were to do some work in your home for which you need permits,
Yes.
and you get the permits, but then the city comes out and says, oh, wait a minute, in order to approve your plans, you also, even though it might be on the inside of your house, plumbing or something like that, or
yeah.
remodeling, but you also then have to meet the current code for your driveway or driveway extension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely understand. Yeah, you have to come up to the current code. I understand that.
Okay, great.
I understand that process very well.
Okay,
My,
good.
my thing is about going, this is why I'm here, to address that situation, because there's always exemptions and actually interpretations of what we want to, we deem as code. And just like the gentleman, there were some interpretations of what we're doing, like what a vehicle is. And I'm trying to sit here and trying to express that I'm trying to mimic what's in my neighborhood, basically.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that is correct.
Okay.
That those things could also be out of code. But if there's another house that is paved all the way to the property line, and there's nothing else that would bring that house to the attention of our code enforcement officers, they're never going to have to do anything about it
Yeah.
until they do something else. But it's when something is brought to the attention, then they have to make all of these things. But even from the photos, and I was out there on Sunday, so I've seen it in person, not just pictures.
Yeah.
Even that area, if it were truly paved, truly nice looking concrete, still would be out of code. But this is like all broken up. I mean, in my opinion, it's
It's not concrete. It's actually it's
Well-
base for pavers. It's what it is.
well, to me, it just looks like a bunch of gravel.
No, I understand that, but
Right.
you understand that's why I'm
Those-
trying to explain this. This is my profession. It's an actual base for pavers.
Oh, a base for pavers.
Yes, that's what it actually was, because that's what
Well,
it was
But
planning to
then
be.
why have you not?
I stopped because of the violations. I was told I could not do pavers. That was the first discussion. I was told I could not do pavers.
Okay, well, I'll get to you in a second. Defer
That it
to
had to be concrete.
No. Can I defer to staff on that? I didn't have that communication,
I
certainly.
do, like I said, I do this for a living. That's why I asked that question.
Sure.
So.
Thank you. This is Sabrina. I'm the Director of Community Development. So with this ongoing discussion, so the city, we do have a front yard landscape approval.
I
And we
understand.
have a manual. It sounds
I've
like
got
you've
one.
already
Yes, I
been
do.
to the
Yes, I do.
the planning department, and we are here to help guide you to kind of, we can look at reviewing the pavers and the materials, tells us exactly what would be permitted, 40%
Yes.
landscaped area, et cetera. And so we're happy to work with you
I-
toward those goals.
I submitted, and it's actually 50% of landscape,
Okay,
even with those
okay.
pavers in there. So I submitted that. I just did it yesterday. I talked to Susie over it.
Well,
And it's because of the fact that I'm at this point where I can't sit here and wait. I was gonna put in pavers. I was told I couldn't do pavers. It had to be concrete. And that's the hardest part, is that I do this for a living. So I'm very, when I hear something, I'm very, and I don't work on small projects. I work on very, very large projects for healthcare facilities. I build medical facilities for a living. So
Okay.
I'm really good at listening to
I think we're
inspectors and what they do.
Okay, I think we probably have enough information. You've now submitted plan. I don't know why anybody would have told you cannot put pavers there for at least part of that distance from where the driveway technically ends to the property line.
Okay.
That's not true. I don't know where you got that information.
Like I said, I wish I was not given that
Anyway,
information.
but you have
so-
now submitted plans
Yes, I have.
as of yesterday.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And are you even aware of that yet, since if it was just yesterday?
Staff, not at this time, but staff can review to work with you to review. And it sounds like you're on the process of trying to
I
get
submitted
approval for
yesterday.
the
I did
front
follow
yard
up today with a phone call, and we didn't receive anything back yet. So
Okay. Staff is here to help homeowners.
no, I understand that,
Okay.
Miss. I really want to do. Like I said, there's other violations that I did correct on that thing. That obviously that I have made the effort to and shown that I'm willing to do it. It's just that
Okay,
when I'm
wait, but need to move on. The other thing, okay, thank you. Where are we? Okay,
If I could.
yes, please.
I would still ask for the resolution because it has not been done yet. This is the first that we have heard of plans being submitted. Nothing's been finalized yet. A car is still parking on that area.
Right.
So we would like to continue to get the resolution in the case that a vehicle's still parking there again or things don't go as planned, just to make sure.
I will make one comment, and then I'll let you do whatever you want. That I was there 12:30 Sunday afternoon, and the vehicle was actually parked in an acceptable place when I was there. But different days, different times, kind of. But okay,
Yeah,
I
because
believe
that was something that was brought up at the very beginning about the vehicle being parked there, and that's why we have that extra picture showing that again on the 8th. There was no other vehicles in the driveway, but the
Right.
vehicle was still
Right.
parked there for some reason. So.
and I can go attest to what the reason why is. I'm actually working here in Southern California right now.
Stop,
So
please. Okay, I believe you have, and we'll get to the resolution. You had a comment or question?
No, I just had a question earlier, but I think you also answered it. I think you submitted a plan, right, to the planning commission, to the city, and that's, I think, the first step that should have been done to begin with. So that's great. Then we can move forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Follow the process. Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay. Okay. You have something? Before
So,
we get to
staff,
resolution.
You still suggest that we pass a resolution in case
that's-
that there's a car that gets parked there. But
Staff-
Yes.
yeah, but if we can
We're
just
ready for the resolution,
okay.
and you can see how you want to go on it. Okay.
Yes, we're still recommending the resolution to ensure compliance.
And this is with a 21-day abatement period. Okay.
Yes, but if he's working with planning, we're happy to extend that.
Right. Exactly. That's very routine. If work is being done,
Yeah.
it can get. Right. If you show progress, then yeah,
it's
not going to.
it's pretty much almost there. That's the whole thing. so.
Okay. So staff is asking for.
So if you'd like, did you want to
Yes.
ask?
Go ahead.
Staff recommends waiving the full reading of and adopting a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission, finding that the property located at the 11,900 block of Gonsalves Street does constitute a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 21-day abatement period thereon.
And to waive further reading, and recommendation is to waive further reading and adopt. Do I have a motion to that effect?
so move.
Okay. Mr. Brian moved. Ferrer, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Motion moved by Vice Chair Ferrer, seconded by Commissioner Westfall. Motion has been properly made. I'm now activating the online voting system. Voting is live.
Okay.
And the motion carries.
It's unanimous.
Unanimous.
Well, I guess you can see that up there. Okay. Boy, JC, the last few meetings have taken about 20 minutes.
Congratulations.
Good timing. Good timing.
Congratulations, Celia.
Well, if nobody comes to talk. Okay. We are a very convivial group of people here. Item 8C, review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission finding that conditions constituting a property nuisance, as defined in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, exist in the 16,700 block of Greenbrook Circle, including a lack of landscape maintenance. May I have a staff report, please?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This case will be presented by Brian Lane, Code Enforcement Officer.
Chair and members of the Commission, on January 28, 2026, staff inspected a property in the 16700 block of Greenbrook Circle observing a trash can at the curb line and a lack of landscape maintenance on the front yard. A notification was left at the property providing 7 days to abate the violation. An inspection on February 11th, 2026 revealed no visible trash counts, however, the landscape maintenance violation remained. A second notification was mailed. An inspection on February 25th, 2026 revealed no compliance with the additional observation of a dumpster and vehicle with a smashed windshield on the driveway. A third notification was mailed. On March 10th, 2026, staff received a complaint about a parking issue on the street involving the vehicle that had been previously parked on the driveway, and the complaint was forwarded to the Community Safety Division. An inspection on March 11th, 2026 revealed no compliance. A final notification was mailed. An inspection on April 3rd, 2026 revealed some work done on the landscape, however, the property was not in compliance. On April 14th, 2026, the property was posted for PPC. After posting the property, staff received a call from an individual who stated he was now the legal owner of the property and that he was in the process of evicting the occupants, and he was not aware of the notices or violation until a neighbor contacted him and advised him the property had been posted for public hearing. He stated he would have a landscaper take care of the landscape issues. Staff reviewed the available owner information and noted no changes. However, there is sometimes a delay in the owner information being updated by the county. An inspection today revealed the landscape maintenance improved and the dumpster removed from the driveway. However, there was now a couch on the driveway. Staff attempted to contact the individual that contacted staff after the property was posted for an update and left a voicemail requesting a callback. Staff recommendation on this property is to adopt a resolution to ensure that the landscape maintenance is done on a routine basis. This completes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Are there any questions from Brian?
Chair Spitzer, I did still note that the grass on the parkway was still a little outgrown
Yeah.
today.
Anybody else? I guess I have a question. When is trash pickup day for that area?
That trash pickup day for that area is on Monday.
And you checked again today,
I was at the property today.
and the sofa was still
The
there.
sofa was still there.
Okay,
Correct.
because we saw it on Sunday, but
Mhm.
we figured if the pickup's on Monday, of course. Okay. Okay, and open the public hearing. Is anyone here for this particular item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. At this point, any comments from the commissioners? Anybody else? I did notice it looked like it needed mowing also. Okay. Seeing none, we're ready for resolution.
Staff recommends waiving full reading of and adopting a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission, finding that the property located at the 16,700 block of Greenbrook Circle does constitute a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 7-day abatement period thereon.
Almosa.
Okay. And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Moved by Commissioner Chachki, seconded by Commissioner Westfall. The motion has properly been made. I am now activating the online voting system. Voting is live. The yeas have it. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8D. Review and consideration of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission finding that conditions constituting a property nuisance as defined in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code exist in the 16,400 block of Holmes Place, including visible debris and an inoperable vehicle stored in public view. And we have a staff report, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This case will be presented by Brian Lane, Code Enforcement Officer.
Chair and members of the commission, on January 21st, 2026, staff inspected the property in the 16400 block of Holmes Place, observing debris at the curb line, an inoperable Jeep on the driveway under repair, and oil stains on the driveway. A notification was mailed to the owner providing 7 days to abate the violations. An inspection on February 11th, 2026 revealed the debris at the curb line and oil stains on the driveway removed. However, the gray inoperable Jeep was still on the driveway, and there was debris on the north side of the property. A second notification was mailed. On February 19th, 2026, the owner contacted staff and stated the Jeep was no longer being worked on and she was working on the other violations. On February 26, 2026, staff received a complaint about an inoperable vehicle on the driveway. An inspection on March 4th, 2026 revealed the gray Jeep on the driveway appearing inoperable with a flat rear passenger tire. Staff left a voicemail with the owner advising of the complaint. On March 11th, 2026, staff received a complaint about a truck parked on the lawn being repaired. An inspection revealed a green Ford pickup truck on the lawn in the process of being repaired the gray inoperable Jeep on the driveway in the process of being repaired, and tools and other items on the driveway. A third notification was mailed. On March 16, 2026, staff received an additional complaint about a green truck being repaired on the front lawn. An inspection revealed a green Ford pickup truck under repair on the front lawn. While at the property, staff spoke to the owner, who stated the truck belonged to her son and it would be moved. Staff also discussed the inoperable gray Jeep and advised that the vehicle repair could not be conducted in public view. An inspection on March 19, 2026 revealed the green Ford pickup moved to the north side of the driveway. An inspection on March 25, 2026 revealed the green Ford truck on jack stands on the driveway. Staff spoke to a resident at the property who stated all work on the vehicle would be completed that day. Staff again advised the resident vehicle repair could not be conducted in public view. An inspection on April 2, 2026 revealed the green Ford truck on jack stands on the driveway and debris in front of the north gate. A final notification was mailed. On April 14, 2026, the property was posted for PPC. An inspection today revealed a trash can and vehicle jack on the driveway, the gray Jeep parked on the driveway with a flat rear passenger tire appearing inoperable, and the green Ford pickup parked on the north side of the driveway. Staff recommendation on this property is to adopt a resolution to ensure compliance. This completes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions of staff from any of the commissioners at this time? Oh, no. Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. If anyone is here to speak to this item, please step forward. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Any comments from commissioners? The vehicle, the gray Jeep has a flat tire.
And today I did notice the green truck was being worked on. this
Okay.
afternoon. Yeah.
It wasn't when we were there, but that was Sunday, yeah. Things change. Anything else? I believe we're ready for a recommendation from staff.
All right. Staff recommends waiving full reading of and adopting a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission, finding that the property located at the 16,400 block of Holmes Place does constitute a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 7-day abatement period thereon.
Do you have a motion to that effect?
I'll move the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion moved by Commissioner Chachki and seconded by Vice Chair Ferrer. The motions have been properly made. I'm now activating the online voting system. Voting is live. And the yeas have it. The motion is approved.
Thank you. And our last public hearing item, review and consideration of a case sent, this is 8E, of a case sent before the Property Preservation Commission, finding that conditions constituting a property nuisance, as defined in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, exist in the 12,300 block of Iarna Street, including structure exteriors in need of repair and paint, a lack of adequate ground cover, and a lack of landscape. May we have a staff report, please?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This case will be presented by Darnell Jerry, Code Enforcement Officer.
Chair and members of the Commission, on May 10th, 2024, staff inspected the property located at 13,200 block of Iarna Street and observed several areas of disrepair in need of paint and repair, as well as lack of ground cover on the front lawn and in the parkway areas. A notification was left at the property, providing 30 days to abate the violation. May 20th, 2024, staff was contacted over the phone by the property owner, who stated he was currently in the process of several other needed improvement projects, which included plans to re-roof the property, in which he stated he would address the areas of disrepair as well. A 60-day extension was requested and granted. August 1st, 2024, staff was contacted by the property owner, who expressed their financial obligations to again, those ongoing property improvements would prevent him from meeting the compliance date for the property violations. He requested another 60-day extension, which was granted. October 10th, staff inspected the property and observed debris stored in the, staff inspected the property with no change to violation, and a second notification was mailed to the property, November 11th, staff inspected the property and also observed that no changes to the violation, and a third notification was mailed. January 10th, staff was contacted by the property owner once again, who informed staff again that due to personal and other financial obligations that were more of a priority, that they could still not address the violations. He again requested a 60-day extension, which staff did grant. Between the months of May of October 25th May and October 2025, 3 inspections were conducted, followed by mail notifications with no compliance or contact from the property owner. December 8th, 2025, the property owner contacted staff to inform them that they were still in the process of installing low-maintenance vegetation in the lawn and parkway, as well as currently in talks with several contractors for pricing to repair and paint areas of disrepair. January 26th, 2026, an inspection revealed the landscape cleared of previous vegetation and a large dirt mound removed in preparation for a new landscaping. The repair and paint remained out of compliance. March 26th, 2026, a final inspection of the property revealed some ground cover, vegetation growth, but not fully in compliance, with the repair and paint remaining out of compliance. An inspection yesterday, April 27th, 2026, the repair and paint had been fully repaired and brought into compliance. The ground cover has shown minimal improvement, but remained out of compliance. Staff recommendation is to adopt a resolution to ensure compliance. This concludes my report and would be willing to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from commissioners? No. Okay. I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to this item? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Any comments from the commissioners? Yeah, to me, as far as the landscaping and all that goes, it still needs a lot of work. The painting has been taken care of. Anybody else? No. We were ready for a resolution. Did you want to say something?
Well, also, I just want to point out, I had to do a double look, but it was almost 2 years.
Yes. Yeah.
So since 2024.
Right. Yeah. The very first part of the report goes back 2 years.
Thank you. Staff recommends waiving a full reading of and adopting a resolution of the Cerritos Property Preservation Commission, finding that the property located at the 12,300 block of Villarna Street does constitute a property nuisance as set forth in Chapter 6.20 of the Cerritos Municipal Code, and setting forth a 30-day abatement period thereon.
And could I have a motion to waive further reading and adopt?
So move.
A second?
Motions have been.
No.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, electronically vote, please.
All right.
Not
Now
in
activating the
favor,
online
everybody
voting
vote.
system. Voting is live. The yeas have it. The motion carries.
That was the last of the hearing items. Our next section is Section 9, reports. Do we have anything from the commission staff?
No
That's
reports at this
9A.
time.
And then 9B, anything from any of our commissioners? Commissioner Choksi?
Nope.
JC? No. Vice Chair Ferrer?
Say congratulations to our new chair, Celia Spitzer.
Thank you.
I also did attend Gar High School's PTSO pop-up, coordinated by our very own Commissioner Robles. Very well attended. I also attended our Ube Fest on April 12th. Well attended here in City of Cerritos. Also went to last weekend the Bessie the Cow event and Spring Fling, the fireworks show and drone show was excellent. So looking forward to this next coming year. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Anybody down here want to say something? No.
I was out of town for Bessie and the fireworks show, but I did see the fireworks online. That was very impressive. And I saw Bessie today on the way up. So
I
it's
have to go
very
take
cute.
a look. I forgot when I came. And Commissioner Westphal, anything? No. Okay. That's the end. We are adjourned at, I have 7:59, so I made it under an hour. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 26th.